All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another video, all boxing everything. Make sure y'all subscribe. Okay, y'all, so Oleksandr Usyk, he does it once again, gets another W over Anthony Joshua in the rematch via split decision. Now, at first, when I watched the fight, I thought that split decision was kind of crazy, but when I went back and watched it again, I said, you know what? I could have seen it go Anthony Joshua's way. Hell, I could have even seen it be a draw, because I thought Anthony Joshua in the first half of the fight, I thought he was doing well. I thought that he was dictating the pace, landing some good body shots, and he wasn't fighting behind Oleksandr Usyk, right? So I'd say up to round 6, I did have Anthony Joshua up. Disagree or not, I just felt Anthony Joshua was doing much better with the body punching and landing the more effective blows, right? But of course, in the second half of the fight, I'd say like the mid rounds, Usyk, he started turning it up and he started going back to the old Usyk from the first fight and just outpointing, just outpointing, landing those good straight left hands down the pipe on Joshua from the head to the body, good right hooks around the guard of Anthony Joshua, just starting to really frustrate him with all that movement, and then clearly I'd say in the championship rounds or round 10 through 12, that's where Usyk, he really just started settling in and just started landing a lot of combinations. He knew that if he already knew, I think Usyk already knew that the way the mid part of the fight was going, that he had to turn it up. And he did that in rounds 10, 11, 12. He knew he had to close the deal in some fashion. And he did that much work just to get a split decision. So he knew that he had to turn it up to really get those, to really make sure he could get that fight, to get the rematch won. So yeah, man. Overall, I thought, the first half of the fight, I thought Anthony Joshua, he did well as far as landing his jab. He started pumping the jab out early in the fight. Like I said, being first with his shots, not fighting behind Usyk, and he started going to the body. He started going to the body, landing right hook and left hook, doubling the body shots up, putting the Usyk into the ropes to land those shots every now and then. But sometimes after he would land the shots, he would back up and let Usyk reset, get back into a groove, and that's where Usyk would land on him. So that's why Oleksandr Usyk never really got into like any wrestling matches and trying to slow him down. He would just let Anthony Joshua back up and reset, and he was good to go. He would get back into a groove and start piling points up on Joshua. Joshua, to me, has been neglecting the one thing I said he should have done in the first fight, and that was be physical. Be physical nonstop. I mean, you got the reach to use that jab and measure, then just come over top of the right hand and just lay on him after a couple of shots, or just cut him off and get him in the corner and just lay on him, maul him a little bit, and work those body shots. Like he did land some good uppercuts every now and then to the body on Usyk, but I feel like he wasn't just following it up enough with the physical work. Laying on the guy. You this big, use it. A guy like Lennox Lewis, he used to do that. He used to lay on guys after one good 1-2. He lay on you, put his forearm on your neck, and just wear you down. You got to do that. If you got the size, you got to use it. Just like little guys, when they don't have the size, they use speed and they use hooks to get on the inside, right? So if you're that big, facing a smaller fighter, use your size, lay on them, because if you don't have the speed to catch up, you got to use your timing, or you got to use your size to slow them down, So body shots were working. In the mid part of the fight, you saw Usyk go stationary a couple times, and that's where Joshua could land, but he wouldn't follow up and just lay on him and just keep him in the corner and maul him a little bit, So I think that's the game plan, part of the game plan that Anthony Joshua and his team, they didn't put together. They didn't really capitalize on that and say, okay, we got this big guy in here. This is what he should have did the first fight, right? This is what he should have did the first fight, so we should do it in the rematch. But no, like, body was good, the body work was good, but not enough. Not enough being physical and, roughhousing tactics in this fight. So, yeah, I think when it got to that point by round 9, you could see it in Joshua's face that he wasn't just mentally, he just wasn't just physically faded. He was mentally faded as well, because Usyk was just moving. He was just putting that dance on him. He's just constantly moving and hitting him with those combinations. Then in rounds 10, 11, and 12, like I said, Joshua was just kind of gone. If you just look at his body language, his eyes, like he wasn't in it no more. So Usyk just kept piling up points, combinations. Joshua stumbling everywhere, and boom, right? So yeah, man, I gave it to Usyk. I gave it to Usyk again. Anthony Joshua, I thought up to round 6, he was in his groove, and he should have stayed on that. And then by rounds 9 and 10, he should have been getting more physical and looking to close the show on Usyk at that point. But no, man, he couldn't get it done. So Joshua, he just went on a bit of a rant. Anthony Joshua just went on a bit of a rant and threw the belts out the ring. He threw the belts out the ring, took the mic from Oleksandr Usyk, and he was just, going on a whole thing, giving his life story. And at the same time, I don't know if he was giving Usyk enough props or he was just doing that to make himself feel better. That, he has to be this good because I've been working my whole life for this thing. But I was just like, oh boy, man, I don't know, man. Anthony Joshua, I think he just needs to step away from a little bit from the limelight because, the fame it does that to some people. Joshua, ever since he's came out of, whatever he was as far as, the hardships and into the boxing world, I think it was just such a fast move for him that he wasn't used to this life of being in the spotlight and changing your whole personality. That's why I think that the true AJ came out after the fight. That's how he really felt. He wanted to let out his true feelings, and this is how he was feeling at the time, So he said, I can't be this squeaky clean acting guy right now. I just got to let my real self out, throw these belts around, snatch the mic, do whatever I got to do, and say what's on my mind, right? So from here, man, I don't know. I think Joshua might need to take a little break because it just seems like a lot of these guys now in boxing, they're just having some issues with mental health. And no offense, but it just seems like a lot of these guys aren't built like the older heavyweights or the older boxers. They seem to kind of need to take them breaks and have them breakdowns. Ryan Garcia, Adrian Broner, So if that's what he needs to do, that's what he needs to do. Step away from the game because it's not worth it if you're going to lose your mind over it, right? As for Usyk, he proved why he's one of the best heavyweights today. He's showed how durable he is, and he showed how he never loses his cool in there. He stays cool, calm. Even after the belts got thrown out, and even after Usyk snatched the mic from him, he was just calm and stayed in it. I mean, even after Joshua snatched the mic from him, he stayed in it, right? So yeah, man. From here, Usyk versus Tyson Fury. I don't know. Whatever needs to happen. Having Usyk versus Wilder. If Wilder gets past Robert Helenius, that's a good fight. So we'll see, guys. But overall, it was an okay fight. I think the first fight was a little bit more entertaining, probably because it was just the first time we had seen these type of styles together. But I'd say the first half of this fight was a little bit entertaining because it was a little bit more competitive on Joshua's end too. He made it a little bit more competitive, but by rounds 9 through 12, he just seemed to kind of fall apart in there, But yeah, guys, that's all I got on this one. It was an okay fight. Let me know what y'all thought of it if y'all did see it. Combo Breaker 99, all boxing everything. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm out. Peace.